All right, party people, we're going backwards today. So we're given the problem, we're given the picture, and we have to write the equation. First thing is we got to figure out whether we want to do cosine or sine. So I would recommend just picking like an easy point. So like on the axis right here. Picking that point, that tells us that it's, it could be sine, it could be cosine for either one. If you want to do sine, start on the axis and it goes up and down. I would just say cosine is a little more obvious. So I'm going to say cosines are equation. Next thing looks like our amplitude is 12, so I'm going to write amp equals 12. Our period looks like it's 480 degrees. Now, before, when we wanted to find out what the period was, we did 360 over x equals 480. So now I'm just going to solve for x to figure out what that b is. Remember, our end goal is to have y equals c plus that a, and then cosine or sine of b, and then theta minus d or plus d or whatever. So this is going to help us figure out what that b is. So I'm going to solve for that, and I'll get b is equal to, let's see, that's 3/4. So that's what b is. The last thing is I don't have any horizontal or vertical shifts. Remember, my normal one starts there. Sorry. Anyway, so the last thing is there's no horizontal or vertical shift whatsoever. So the reason why I can tell that is because my normal cosine, starts on the y-axis, goes down, and since that's what we're doing, this one starts there. So yeah. So now I'm going to write my equation. So y equals, and then there's no vertical shift, so no number, and then 12 cosine, and then my 3/4, that's when b comes in, and then I don't need anything else. So I'm just going to write theta, or you can do x. Either one, theta or x, will work. Okay. Number two, that one does have some little tricky parts to it. First thing, I think it's obvious that it's sine, but it's upside down. So I got to remember that that negative should be there because it's flipped, right? The next thing is if I said I started here, it moved all the way over. Normally it starts here at 0, so it went to the left 55, and that tells us that it's going to be a plus 55 on the inside of the equation. Excuse me. Next thing is that normally it's here again for the y's. So we can see here that my sinusoidal axis jumped up 8, so it went up 8 units. The last thing, not the last thing, sorry, we have two things. The amplitude. My amplitude, terrible bracket right there. There we go, it's a little better. Would be 10. And then the last thing, my period. Well, my period length is from -55 to 15, so that's 40. But once again, 360 over x equals 40, so that means my b is going to be 9. So y equals, now I'm going to do my vertical shift, so 8. It's flipped, so that means minus. Amplitude's next, 10, then sine, then my b, and then theta. And since it's going to the left, we said that already, it's going to be plus 55. All right. Now, in all these, you could do cosine. So if you wanted to do cosine, you could maybe start here and go from there to there. So the only thing that changes is obviously cosine changes, and then this number is going to change to positive 20, or this would be plus 25. The other number, if you wanted to keep it sine, you could say instead of starting here, you could start it here. So then it'd be plus 15. Let's do one more, and we'll call it a day. The last one, to me, it's a cosine, but if you want to do it real quick, you can pause, then I'll just give you the answer. So y equals 7 plus 4 cosine of 3, and then theta plus 110. Another option you could have done is theta minus 10. If you did it as a sine graph, it's a little different. The 7 doesn't change at all. If you did it as sine and you started here and went there, or maybe you started, I don't know where else you could start here, I guess, and then it would be upside down. So if you did it as upside down, then you're going to have negative. If you did it as positive, or if you did it right side up, then it's going to be positive. So that doesn't change at all. It's still that, still all that. The only thing difference is if I start here, that means it's going to be theta plus 20. So there's lots of options there. If you had done it from here, it'd be minus 4 sine 3 of theta plus 80. So I hope that helped. Let me know. This is kind of different, but if you could do last night's homework, you can probably do tonight's. That's my hope. And if you can do this, then there's no excuses why you for sure can't do the other one. Good luck. Have fun at the game. See you on Monday.